Sandy Hook School. I think there's somebody shooting in here. Sandy Hook School.
Okay, what makes you think that?
Because somebody's got a gun. I saw a glimpse of somebody.
As a personal responder to 13 school shootings, I've been very fascinated with this. They have planned these acts over sometimes weeks, months, even years, and they carry them out because of their anger, resentment, their detachment from other people. We lead the world in basically mass murders. We especially lead the world in school shootings. We actually had a federal study of 37 different school shooters, and they basically found those shooters were angry at the people in school. They weren't angry at individual people, they were angry at everybody. In fact, one of the things that's changed in recent decades isn't necessarily the total number of murders. What's changed is that people are killing others that they don't even know because they're angry at everyone. There's a lot of resentment, there's grievances. They actually feel like they have a purpose. The perpetrators all talked about what they were going to do. Most mass murderers fit into one of three categories. They're either psychopaths or sociopaths, which means they have really no conscience, no remorse. They feel superior to others and feel like they have a right to kill them. And then a second type would be psychotic. This would be somebody who's really not in good contact with reality. They're seeing and hearing things that are not there. And then the third type would be traumatized / depressed and suicidal. At Columbine, we believe that Eric Harris in particular was a psychopath. He was a very good liar. He could say exactly what adults wanted to hear. The writing he left behind, which is an extraordinary amount, and the videotapes he left behind were lots of rants against others, talking about being superior, godlike, having the right to kill all but a few people.
I don't care what you say. If you ever touch him again, I will freaking kill you. I'm gonna pull out a goddamn shotgun and blow your damn head off. Do you understand, you little worthless piece of crap?
I actually led a team following a school shooting in Realengo, Brazil. The 20-year-old kid went back to his middle school and he killed 23 people. Now what we know about him is that he very much was imitating our own Virginia Tech perpetrator. He actually posed with the guns in the exact same manner as he had seen pictures of our Virginia Tech perpetrator show. So we need to, again, be aware when people are imitating and glamorizing others. But I'll never forget what they said in Brazil, which is, this only happens in America. This doesn't happen in South America. There are people that have stated they believe strongly that when you nationally publicized a mass murder situation, you have dramatically increased the chances that somebody else will commit another one.
Stay tuned for a special American Maniacs on WATCH. Mickey Knox is the most dangerous man in America, but Wayne Gale isn't afraid to meet him one-on-one to learn what 48 people died for.
The day you two killed your us belong to us, to the public, to the media. That's how it is, and we are married, eh?
And you have these kids that are angry and they have something to say, no one's listening. The media sends a message that if you do something loud enough and it gets our attention, then you will be famous for it. Those kids ended up on the cover of Time magazine. The media gave them exactly what they wanted.
So I very much would be for reduced news coverage. And by the way, almost all the mass murderers, they were actually suicidal. They did not plan to basically survive. They either thought they would be killed by police, or as you know, many of them ended up dying by suicide. I very much do agree that schools are really the safest places children go. One of the things that we don't want to recognize in our country is most kids actually get murdered at home. It's their own parents. CNN had a story saying 5 kids every day are murdered by their own parents. Now, having said that, I believe that one violent death on a school ground in America is unacceptable. And the statistics would basically say this. If you're a student, your chance of being a homicide victim at school are 1 in 2.5 million. And I believe we need to make it so that it will be even more unlikely. School shootings in America are very rare. And I'm very concerned as a psychologist, we're giving kids the feeling that school is unsafe, when in fact, we just went over, it's the safest place they could possibly be. We do not need to scare the students. We need to be careful not to basically turn our society into an armed camp where we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything.
Yes, lately firearms enthusiasts have been taking their guns out to public places for play dates with other gun owners and their guns. I mean, what possible reason could a person have for bringing a semi-automatic weapon into Home Depot? You're there to buy a toilet seat. I doubt you will meet armed resistance.
And there are certainly schools in our country that need an armed police officer. It has more to do with the environment around the school, the number of students, number of gang involvement, many, many issues.
Anyway, I like to talk to kids, greet them, say hey, find out what they're doing. Sometimes I help them with homework a little bit. You can't put it on a graph, but I think we SROs working in the schools are making a huge impact on the behavior of the kids and helping turn them into good citizens. Maybe next year.
One of the strategies that I very much agree with is if we had everybody a little more in tune with warning signs of suicide, warning signs of violence, and what I actually believe is that almost every school shooting could have been prevented. Getting help, that's actually what the strong person does. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength and recognition that I need help, and I'm going to be smart enough and strong enough to get it. My final statement, which I will stand by, is every day that passes since Newtown, Connecticut, that we don't change anything means we are very unlikely to ever change anything. I mean, the bottom line, if it's 26 dead in an elementary school, 20 of them children as young as 6 and 7 years old, if we don't decide to change something in our country, then when would we ever make that decision?